This video today is about someone doing snaky things. And I don't like people who do snaky things. Shout out to FIFA president Gianni Infantino. He delivered one of the best World Cups ever, especially from a commercial standpoint. The last World Cup held in North America, Mexico, US, and Canada, amazing. Generated around the tune of $15 billion in revenue. That's the highest revenue generating World Cup we've seen ever. The last one in Qatar was around 7.6 billion. The one before that was even much lesser than that. So definitely it was a good strategy, especially from a commercial standpoint, to situate this World Cup here. Now we finished the World Cup, right? And the news reaching us was that he's planning to sell 20% of that to external private equity investors. I mean, that is absurd to even think about. Because what do you mean you're selling the World Cup? Or you're selling a stake of it? Or you're selling a stake of the commercial rights? Whatever, potato, potato. Because this will have insane ramifications for just the sporting spirit of the World Cup and football in general. Can you imagine a private equity investor having a say? I mean, they control 20% of whatever it generates. They would definitely have a say in how the World Cup should conducted. Imagine us having to go through so-called cooling breaks all the time. Now football is no more a game of two halves, it's now a game of four quarters. The ramifications could be endless. Another thing I also thought about is the only way we could generate that much from the tournament is was because it was also held in a place where people have significant purchasing power like America. So that means we'll disrupt the whole hosting arrangement where once you host the tournament, you have to wait a while before you can host again. It's probably mean now we'll be hosting the World Cup every 2 years, which will disrupt the whole football calendar. But America will likely be getting a lot of the hosting rights, and that means alienating every other part of the world, not just from hosting the World Cup, but also because of the crazy dynamic prices. I mean, the prices were so high they were prohibitive. I live near South Beach. I could not even go watch one of the World Cup matches because the tickets were just so expensive. And to cap all of this, right? Is that he did a whole lot of this in stealth. The FIFA Council, the 32 members, they did not even know about this plan. He had secret meetings with investors. And if not for that news eventually leaked before he could jump ahead of it, that plan would have gone through. And I think this stems from greed. See, Infantino right now is in the last year of his 5 year term. He's supposed to contest again. A lot of countries they've written letters of support for him before this incident, but it's just 5 years. After 5 years, what does he want to do? He wants to still have access to these commercial giants, and the only way he could do that was create a company that will handle commercial rights, sell 20% of that stake to private investors, and the company itself, he is planning to lead that company, and he's planning to pay himself salary in the tune of tens of millions of dollars annually. That is crazy. And they always say power intoxicates. Obviously, he is human at the end of the day. And I was generally disappointed. But here's the larger question. Anyone with that kind of unchecked access power will likely take advantage of the system. I was reading a story from the Athletic that instead of having one man lead FIFA, why not just abolish the presidency and have a council lead FIFA? Or better still, have better laws where the president can make significant decisions like that without conducting some sort of votes or talking to the council or things like that, right? This can't be a one-man show. I mean, the amount of revenues FIFA generates is immense. And I've seen some arguments about, oh, how do we think players make so much money? The coaches, everyone, the executives, everyone involved in football, right? That is definitely a good point. Sports, entertainment, we need to make money to finance the ecosystem. But FIFA already has about $7 billion in cash reserves that they just put in fixed income instruments. So it's about figuring out how to effectively distribute, down the football pyramid. not about trying to sell the commercial rights to private equity investors, people that, now the World Cup will be about generating money. Sporting rules will likely not be followed. There'll be permanency of things like, commercial breaks. Football will be a game of 4 quarters, things like that. We can't have that, man. We can't have that. As someone who loves the game, as someone who has been in the game since I was a kid, man, we can't have that. And we'll see how it plays out. Respect to Infantino. He did an amazing job this past World Cup, but I think the jig is up. The jig is up, my man. But in another news, today, Russell Westbrook, NBA legend, OKC legend, one of the best rebounding point guards of all time. See, I'm not a big fan of Russ, by the way, but he's a good player. I appreciate greatness. And I saw his retirement video and I was very emotional about it. But obviously, man, shout out to Russ, man. The game will miss him. I had a yard out all fast, but he wanted to live on his own terms. Which just reminds me, man, if Kevin Durant retires, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life again, man. Chat. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you've been watching this video, you need to like and subscribe. Man. Come on, come on. I'll be dropping so many videos, so please like and subscribe. Thank you. Follow me on all platforms, 411 underscore HQ on Instagram, on Twitter, and the rest, man. See you in the next one. Bye.